Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Oh, wrestling podcast featuring Matt Salion, Bomber Rap, Scott and Lee, and the one and only Peanut. It's Jobber Radio. Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. It's Jobber Radio. Bitches.
Porn parody, Velveteen Dream.
I do not send anyone dick pics.
And I mean, if you want to bang rats, but don't talk about it on your fucking phone. Piece
Old
of shit.
men yell at cloud.
Hey.
Exactly, and I'll keep yelling at the fucking clouds, motherfuckers, because this shit ain't
So-
fucking wrestling.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We have a decent amount to talk about. On the last episode, I said, you know what? We might take a little hiatus. We're probably not going to have much to talk about. And then next thing you know, WWE drops a big bomb and releases like 50 people. We'll talk about all that, plus some more. But anyway, I'm Jake, a.k.a. Bomber. We got a couple people here today. First of all, one half of the Outsiders, Scott. Scott, how are you doing? What's your Corona update? Everything good on your end?
The Corona update for Thunder Bay is that we've got something like 70 cases, and there is one person who died. We have one. We've hit that. Like 1,000 something in Canada, Ontario, whatever. It's April 30th for the record. People know things are not better yet.
Okay.
But Ontario has like this 3-stage plan to reopen things, and each stage is like 4 weeks, and they don't even know when they're going to start that yet. So all you Americans opening beaches, yeah, have fun with that. We're still working on that up here, and actually figuring shit out. I said Americans. Oh yeah, we have beaches.
Yeah, you said you're still working on that there.
Oh yeah, no, it's too cold for beaches here.
I wouldn't
have
want to open the beaches there anyways.
No, we have them, but it's too cold yet.
When are you guys going to open the hockey rinks?
Oh, we're working on it. Like that's the whole point.
I think we're opening those up soon too here.
But it's hectic. It's crazy. I'm still working, and it's nuts and stressful. But yeah, getting by, doing what I can.
Well, good. So Rab is here as well, as you just heard. Rab, how is your update going?
I still have a job technically.
Okay, well that's good.
I'm not getting paid fully.
What?
Really?
So I'm on a 80% furlough for the foreseeable future.
Wait, 80% meaning you're
I'm
getting
working
80?
4 days a week.
Okay, so you're getting 80%, not you're getting 20%, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. Well, that's
and actually, I'm getting a bit more than 80%. The company's actually doing a real kind of nice thing.
Okay.
I'm getting paid more like 90%.
Well, that's good.
Because they're going to cover the healthcare premiums for everyone, but they are going to, cut our time.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I had already lost some money because some of my bonus we didn't get, and on-call pay. I work in IT, so we have on-call.
Mm-hmm.
That got canceled, so I'm not getting that anymore either. So I've lost. I'm losing probably, I'm losing quite a bit of money at the end of this.
Gotcha.
But not enough where like I can't live. Like my wife has put us in a very good financial situation. Low debt, much lower than we had a few years back. We've got a lot of cash reserves. So we're in a pretty decent financial situation. I can't complain too much.
Okay.
The job's still there. They could have easily just, a lot of our main competitors started firing people a month ago, put people on 20%, 25% furlough, a month ago. So I can't complain too much. Besides that, it's fine. We've got a dog. I have a dog now.
Whoa. You got a dog.
Whoa.
I have a dog now.
You don't follow him on Instagram? You didn't see his dog? God, dude.
My bad. Well, I'm sorry. I have not looked at Instagram yet. What kind of dog for the people that haven't seen as well?
He is a Basenji mix. A Basenji is a dog. That,
I have to look that up.
I don't know what that is.
I'm about to explain.
Spell it.
It's a dog that doesn't. It's a dog that famously doesn't bark. Amongst people who know dogs, the Basenjis are famous because they don't bark.
Oh, okay.
He does not bark.
Does not bark.
He's a Basenji mixed with something much bigger. Basenjis are usually like 25 pounds. He's like 40.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the pictures right now. Okay.
You
So he
know?
looks like
But
a hunting
he's,
dog.
He's a cute. They're natural hunters, they say, but he so far has been a napping dog.
Well,
Well,
he
that's
must have not
nice.
hunt. Yeah, it makes sense. If he's not barking, he's able to be silent. That's cool.
He's actually got a real sad story. It's a sad dog story.
Oh.
Did you rescue this dog?
I did as a rescue. The owner died a few weeks back.
Oh.
Maybe from the Rona, maybe not. I don't know. That information wasn't available. But his owner died, so he had to go to the pound. He's he's 4 years old. Not exactly a puppy. Not exactly a high value target. Apparently, people don't really like dogs who are really adults and have bad habits. But I'm a sucker for a bad story, so he's home here with me now.
Well, nice. What's his name?
His name is Cody. Kodi.
Cody. Okay. Oh, you AEW Mark, you son. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was going to make that joke when I saw the picture. It was like, oh, so close. He had a hard road, didn't he? Oh.
Yeah.
He's a Latino American nightmare.
There it is.
That's nice. I like that actually.
But Rab, my
Latino
sister is fostering rehab dogs, like old dogs. No one, sad stories, driven across provinces, and you got to put them up somewhere, and she's fostering them, and it's awesome to have the old dogs get new homes like that. So that's
he's a foster. Maybe we'll keep him in the end.
Got to keep those veterans keep them around.
We're probably gonna keep them. Let's be real. Let's be super honest.
Cool. Once you get a puppy, like 5-7 years down the road, he'll put them over. That's good.
There it is.
Nothing you said about this dog makes me think that you're not going to keep this dog.
Yep.
The way you described it, this is your dog.
Yeah. I mean, the other reason we did to foster one was obviously safety net to see if he was a monster, we were gonna be like, yeah, take this dog back. But he's not. He's super chill. He doesn't pee inside the house. He doesn't fuck our shit up. The other reason is he is a little ill. He's got it's like a skin condition. He's got some stuff, so he's got some medication we're giving him.
Gotcha.
While because he's a foster, the county is paying for the medication.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, my sister has that too. Her work helps with that kind of stuff, so it's pretty awesome.
So they're paying for the medication. We have to take them back to them like in a month just for like a checkup and stuff. And at that point, we'll probably be like, just give us the paperwork.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, hope that's awesome. You got a dog and everything for now, and hopefully you keep it. Hopefully, this stuff clears up and you get your full payback soon, man. That's it is kind of crappy, but at least you're getting something going.
But look, I know a lot of people who got furloughed already and have been for a while. I know people who lost their job a month ago and they still have no job for the last month, and it's not exactly a good time for hiring either.
That is true.
I know people in a lot worse place than I am. So
since Jess moved here to Dallas, she has obviously there's nobody hiring anywhere, so she moved here. She left her nice job in Norfolk, came here, and now she's just kind of just sitting here like, okay, well, now I got to just wait for people to start hiring again. So
maybe y'all should move somewhere where there's jobs for both of you.
Well, there's plenty of jobs. She interviewed. She had an interview the day before, like I don't know what date, like March something, when everything like kind of locked down. Like she had an interview the day before that, and then the next day, like everything locked down. So she's been
hiring freezes and everything is really.
But another guy here that I know we're getting a little bit winded in this section, but Lee is also here. We haven't heard from him in a while. Lee, what is your Corona update? Is everything good on your end?
Oh.
You broke up. Hello?
Oh, I thought that was me.
I thought it was too. Yeah,
I heard.
Oh, fuck, goddamn, pal. Commune getting.
There we go.
Getting tax rebates from the, and I mean, goddamn, pal, it's like Dr. David Scholl.
Joining us from parts unknown, Lee.
Okay, so Lee, hold on.
Hammer down on it like the little bitch that it is.
It's still a good story.
Good.
This is the best thing ever. Lee, I don't know if you're still talking or not, but you definitely broke up a lot. We heard bits and pieces. It was hilarious.
We got all we need. It's amazing.
So
that was great. If he did sounds like just in little bitch.
Yeah, it sounded like you were breaking up there, Lee, a little bit.
That was a lot bit, not a little bit.
Okay, you were breaking up a lot bit, yes.
It was more cutting out.
Try it one more time. How are you doing? You don't have to go into. I don't know exactly what all you said, but if you can try one more time here.
I'm owning the coronavirus like Dr. David Schultz owned John Stossel with a big slap to the fucking face.
Yeah, we're back.
Sounds like
Yeah, there he is.
there it is. It's working.
I don't know how much of that cut in and out. There was something funky went on, funky like a monkey. Like
The first time you were like, "Hey,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like
you'll
a
hear
little
it. You can hear it
bit.
back. I'm definitely keeping that part in because it was hilarious.
It was
so,
amazing.
Yeah,
It
you'll
was
be able to hear
fine.
that.
No, that's fine, pal. Goddamn.
All right, so Lee is here. Lee is, he's doing his thing. Hopefully, the internet holds up here. I guess I haven't seen that episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I guess I went through just the other day. I only watched one episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I think the episode 3, Bruiser Brody, was that episode 3, season 1?
Yeah, sounds right.
That was the only episode I've ever watched until last week. I just went through and binged and watched every episode, and wow, everybody's been talking about how great Dark Side of the Ring is. The 120% agree. I even got Jess, who not the biggest wrestling fan. She watched she watched the New Jack episode. She watched the Chris Benoit episode and the Macho Man and Liz episode, and she was into all of them. And she's not even a real wrestling fan for real. So that shows you how good and well done they are.
Oh, that New Jack episode's fucking great.
It is. There was a couple clips, by the way, CZW there. I don't know why, but they were in there. I saw DJ Hyde.
CZW.
Are they?
His start in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where he was like inciting race riots almost.
Yep. Yeah. So if anybody has not,
where do they air this show?
I watched them on YouTube. I just went through. They're all on YouTube.
Yeah, there's people like illegally streaming them on YouTube, and like Vice eventually puts them on their channel anyways. So.
Yeah, I was about to say I watched a lot of them on Vice, but
I've seen some of it through I've seen some of the Chris Benoit just through the clips. And that shit looks good. I have to check that out.
oh, it's great. Yeah, like I said,
I saw
I was
parts
waiting.
of the Dino Bravo one. Fuck.
Wait a minute.
I knew that story, but oh my god.
I don't think I've seen that one. Dino Bravo. I didn't see that episode. I need to go check that one out.
Oh, you want to hear about the mafia? Oh boy.
Yeah, the Canadian mafia.
The Quebec mafia.
Well, there we go. So I got to watch the Dave Schultz and the Dino Bravo one. I got to get on those. But yeah, so anybody that has not, including you, Rab, who has not went through and watched those, because I was one of those people, you need to go do it. Highly recommend it. Very good, well done show. But okay, so like I said right at the top, there was a crazy amount of people that were let go or furloughed from the WWE over the past couple weeks, and one of them actually, the day of us recording this today, Curtis Axel was let go just a couple hours ago. Actually, it was like 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, something like that. So hopefully nobody else gets released between now and like when this releases in the morning, but who knows? But what's up?
Well, I was going to say a big part of that is the reported issue that they said anybody that wants a release, they're not going to say no. And then this is the first one to happen since then. Now, again, you can believe dirt sheets all you want, but that's interesting to see if that's the case. Like, oh, you want to go? Go ahead. When there's all these other releases out there and potentially nobody hiring. It's rather interesting to see how that works.
I wonder if any of these people probably asked for that. Like, if they maybe put that in place earlier, and like some of the people that we're going to talk about, like Leo Rush and them maybe asked for theirs.
Well, there's a big part of it. I mean, the whole thing is, I was thinking about this, and it's a corporate overhead, because it's not just wrestlers. There's like something like 30 or 40% of the Stamford office staff were let go. Writers, like one of the writers who worked on the Otis and Mandy storyline is gone. Production
I saw that, yeah.
People are gone. Basically, the live events department is gone.
I mean,
everybody,
as far as furlough, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're furloughed. Like even like old veteran like producers, they're furloughed, which is one of those funny terms. Everyone knows this thing now. And
let's face it, they're gone.
They're gone. They're as good as gone. Yeah, because when things get back to normal, that's who the fuck knows.
Because Vince doesn't want to pay his employees to sit at home with their Saudi blood money. Instead, they'd rather just release them before the fear is, oh, someone's going to be like, oh, I'm too sick to work, and I want to be paid to sit home, and they're afraid that WCW thing's going to happen, right?
Well, there's a big part of it too, where people were saying they've got $500 million as this kind of backup fund, that they could have just paid the wrestlers with that. And I know a lot of people said that, even in our Discord said that. And that 500 million is not to ensure that everybody gets paid. It's to make sure the business runs, like the company runs. Could they have dipped into it? Like coming from a company that works in its nationwide corporate stuff, we literally print invoices and mail them through Canada Post with direct invoices. Like that's our national mail. But it goes through 8 people just to get approved for payment. That's the levels that things have to go through to be like, yep, that checks out. That's the purchase order. That's that. If you've got 500 million in the bank or in whatever fund to keep operations running, like the lights on, they might have somewhere said, hey, we could explore using this money to keep paying all this talent and production people that we're not using. And I guarantee they would, no, why? We're not using them. There's no reason for that. Like,
And
it's silly to me that they're thinking that, and yet no, that's not how it works at all.
As we get into some of these names, you'll notice like they weren't using these people before this anyway.
Yeah, look, what I've been thinking with this is I honestly think people don't really understand how companies work.
Not at all.
Well, that's
Like,
I mean
not
that is
even
true.
a little bit.
That is
you
true.
know, not clearly. Look, WWE has been more than happy to pay a lot of the names you pull over. They've been more than happy to pay them to sit at home and not work for months.
That's true.
And
That's
some
very true.
some of them I will go down the list and go, they still work there?
Oh, there was a joke before this started saying certain names would never be released. They got released. There is a corporate level too of like someone who's been there maybe 30 years is worth 3 people of a head count. We get rid of that one person, we got 3 people head count gone with only one body.
WWE has proved that over the last X number of years that they, more than anything, would like to hoard talent.
Oh yeah, exactly.
They weren't to fire people if they didn't have to.
They did.
I don't understand the thinking that they're just like, well, we've got all this money, but let's fire everyone anyways.
Well, the big part of with having all this talent is to fill out their live events, obviously, but also fill in cameos on TV and to keep others from having it. Why not? You can do it. Whatever. They could literally afford it. And I'm sure people are thinking now, they can still afford it. Well, financially,
if they
maybe
could still afford it, they would.
Well, that's what I mean. They can't afford it. And you might think, but they have the dollars. No, they can't afford to answer for that. How can you answer to your stakeholders and shareholders or anybody for continuing to pay people who you don't use to still be on your payroll?
That's the thing.
That you can't use to be on your payroll, or the best part, who don't want to be there to be on your payroll. There's no way to answer for any of that. That's why certain guys got released. I'm not naming names, Bomber, to steal your thunder here.
But yeah, they've been sitting on talent for so long and hoarding talent for so long that they've just been paying to do nothing. That it's come back to bite them in the ass. Like
we're
true. Yeah.
People have said it's a very thin roster.
Has it really put them on the ass? They've had all these people.
No.
And now they fired everyone.
Well,
the only way to put them on
they're
the
keeping
ass
the ones they want.
The only way to put them on the ass is by people going, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that."
No, they're keeping the ones they want and the ones who want to be there.
No, they're going to be streamlined. Money.
Or if you're looking at it as a fan and you're like, man, I wish they'd do more with this person. Well, no, they're not. They used to have 30 people. Even think of it from a TV thing, how they were doing it. If it's 15-minute segments, you need 3 or 4 people per segment, blah, 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 blah. You don't need 50 people to run the show. You need 20. Cool. What are we doing with those 30? What can we do? Drop them? Okay. It's even that level of thing and how you do this. So, I mean, sports tactics are obviously a case, and why the salaries are what they are is so you have them so others don't. Play on my team, not theirs. And that's what they've been able to do. And my favorite part of this is everybody saying they're going to go to AEW, they're going to go wherever.
Oh.
They're not going nowhere.
Nothing
is happening right now. There's only one case where Cody's like, man, he's doing great. I look forward to seeing him. And the Bucks are like, I like that team. That's it. Who the hell knows about the rest of it? And nobody knows because nobody's doing shows right now aside from 2 companies. Because Florida's weird. And yeah, that's just my preface on all this. It's like, when you see like the veteran referees letting go, the guy, he might even be like, look, let me go and keep those 3. Keep them with their families. I've been here 30 years. I had a good run. I'm worth the same cost as them, literally dollars. We had someone in my company let go a couple years ago when they were reducing headcount. He was worth 5 people of headcount.
Oh,
cool.
Wow.
You know what? You're near retirement. How about you go for it right now?
Oh,
and he
man,
took
that's but yeah.
Right? But that's what it is. Now they can say, look, we reduced 15 people worth of headcount, and it was only 5 people. that's corporate speak that people don't even think of. So this $500 million isn't to pay everything and keep things going the way it is.
Yeah.
It's to keep things going at all. And you can't keep paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to either do nothing or sit around and do nothing. Like it's unprecedented. That's the key thing here. No one ever thought this would happen.
So what we're gonna do, since there's so many names and not all of these are like super fresh, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little speed round, little lightning round type deal. I'm gonna name a name. I'm gonna go through the list and name all these people. I'm gonna give you guys less than 10 seconds, no more than 10 seconds. Give me a word, 2 words. Just blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind, either about this person or about this person being let go. Just give me your first instant reaction on each of these people. We're gonna go through it right here. Let me write down. I'm gonna write down your names so I can just do this quickly.
Yes.
Trust me, this will
you.
help.
I was wondering how you're
I'm
going
gonna point to the names as we do it, so I don't botch that. So okay, and then after that, if there are any more that we want to go into detail about certain guys, because some are more important than others for sure, we can bring up some more stuff.
There was something else I wanted to mention on all this whole thing too.
Sure.
The reason we're seeing people debuting right now is because they can't pay people to not be on TV yet. That's why you get Phantasm out and you get Cross. You get them, like, put them on TV. Don't sit them around. And that's why they pretty much gutted the Performance Center, because we don't need to get more. We're good right now. You use what you got. You can't afford to add more.
They were literally sitting on like hundreds of workers.
Yeah.
So, use them. You don't need more. Streamline it, and it's going to be streamlined, and it's going to be potentially good if they can manage it. And yet they're having. I used the word potentially.
Yeah.
The fact that we're getting weird squash matches is interesting too, but that's a topic.
It's
for
the WWE, so come on.
All right, so here we go. Are you guys ready? We're about to do this. We're gonna start off with Rab, and then we're gonna go Rab Lee Scott right here off the top.
How many words am I supposed to say?
Just 1 to 2.
Spot, right?
Just anything.
You do the first one. You do it, and then we'll follow you.
A quick blurb. A quick blurb. A quick blurb.
You do the first one yourself, Bomber, so we know what you.
Do you want me to do this? I was just gonna.
No.
Chat.
You just do the first one, then we'll know what you want.
Okay.
I still don't know what you want.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Anything just less than 10 seconds. Here we go. Okay. The first name.
Okay.
The first name.
Should live with that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The first name is No Way Jose. For example, just come up and be like, "Yeah, don't give a fuck." Like that. Just boom, go. Like I could give 2 fucks about No Way Jose. Never liked him. Terrible gimmick. I'm sure he's a decent wrestler. Never seen it in him. But anyway, so we're gonna do that.
His song was the shit.
Gotcha.
There you go. Okay, Rab, No Way Jose.
His theme song was the shit. He was super over in NXT, but entirely because people liked his entrance.
All right, Lee.
If he was Consequences Creed, if he peed his pants. That's about it.
Scott.
Gimmick was kind of crap on a large scale. Didn't really work. People didn't want to see him wrestle. Just want to see his entrance. But he made a Yes Way shirt on his release, so good for him.
All right, Cain Velasquez. Lee.
Fuck him. He's useless.
All right, Scott.
It literally seems like they forgot about him. All the potential in the world should have stayed in AAA.
All right, Rab.
I agree with Lee's first 2 seconds of laughter.
All right, Carl Anderson. Rab.
They weren't using him right anyways. I mean, obviously he could have been something, but they weren't using him right, so it doesn't matter.
All right, Scott.
He did as good as he could, but they weren't using him right. He'll flourish on NWA or New Japan or wherever else he wants to go in a tag.
And Lee.
Big in Japan.
Okay. EC3. Scott.
Biggest misuse of a get they got. They did it to spite Impact and literally wasted potential. Even NXT squandered him.
All right, Lee.
They killed his career. A company that he's worked for has killed his career.
All right, Rab.
No one should be more happy to have been released.
Okay. This one just happened. Curtis Axel. Lee.
Needs to shave his head and get back his dad's name.
Okay, Rab.
Agree with the dad's name part.
Scott.
I look forward to Joe Henning going after the NWA title.
Okay. That could be a good one. All right, this one is probably one of the more controversial ones that's going right now. Drake Maverick. We'll go with Rab first.
People wouldn't care if he didn't cry on Instagram.
Lee.
Could be a big manager in a small punt.
Okay. Scott.
Seemed willing to do it all. Kind of surprised they released him, but if they're getting some older guys gone, loyalty isn't really meaning much right now, so they saw a limit.
Okay. Kurt Hawkins. Scott.
Not surprised. I'm surprised they even brought him back in the first place. So he'll be fine, but I never even got the point of him ever being around.
Yeah. Lee.
If I was running a federation, he would be one of my key jobbers to the stars.
Okay. Rab.
Solid fucking hand. They used him correctly. They jobbed him out. He was super safe. They used him to bring back people who were training. Slightly surprised they actually let him go. But you know, he might be back someday in a backstage role or something like that. They clearly trusted him as a good hand.
Okay. Leo Rush. Rab.
Was never a fan, but it looks like they were finally getting big on him, and then they released him. A little surprised about that.
All right. Scott.
Same. Surprised. Seemed like he had his troubles, but he was always working through it, and they were always there for him. So kind of surprised, but he'll do fine.
All right. Lee.
Talented enough that he'll find a place somewhere else. No problem.
All right. Luke Gallows. Lee.
Big in Japan.
All right. Scott.
Again, did kind of the best he could as a tag guy. They might have done something with him solo, but again, he'll NWA tag champ, whatever, something like that. He'll be fine for that.
All right. Rab.
Same thing I said about Anderson.
All right. I figured somebody would drop a Festus quote in there. I mean, or a Festus line.
Everyone wants to forget about Festus.
I know. I was gonna say, like, if I was doing it, I'd be like, better than Festus at least. But all right. Eric Young. This one, kind of an interesting one. Rab.
I forgot he was still there.
Scott.
Massive waste. He was hot in NXT, hot coming in. They didn't even know what to do with Sanity when it was a gang in all their teams. They had strong teams. They fucked it up.
All right, Lee.
NWA would be fucking stupid not to pick him up.
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. All right, this is a sad one here. The fallen member of the 3-man band, Heath Slater. Lee.
Man, I don't see much in him, honestly. Jobber at best.
I agree with that one. Rab.
It sucks to lose a company for them to let go a company guy like that, who's been really solid with them. And I mean, yeah, he's a jobber. I don't disagree, but he's a good jobber, and he's been really solid with them, and he's been with them for 14 years. But these things happen.
All right, Scott.
It's a case where loyalty gets you nowhere. Somewhat. If they could keep him, cool. But if they have nothing for him, gone. People laughed that he can now do the prophecy where they released him and he can go get jacked and come back and win the title. That's what happened to the other two guys.
That's true.
While he was there, both Jinder and Drew left and came back to win the title jacked. So,
that's true.
I mean, he knows the roadmap, and two guys are rooting for him. So
he needs to grow a few inches.
Yeah, Ginger's getting a push right now.
Yeah, and this was also the
back.
day after he thanked Drew and congratulated him on the bump, and they were in tears, and it was emotional. Then they released him the day after. Again, none of this. Let's pause here and say none of these are personal, and they don't like these guys. It's literally a case of like, we can't afford them, cut him. We got to cut 18 people, and he's the 12th. Gone. If they could have kept them, they would have kept them, obviously. So.
Yep. All right. So jumping back in, we got Aiden English, who was a wrestler and kind of transitioned more into commentary. But we got Scott. What do you think?
Wasted opportunity. I've honestly heard nothing but good things from Simon Gotch's stuff about him, and I've liked him when he does stuff, but they don't seem to care to have him do stuff, so why keep him? He'll be NWA manager type like Pope is.
All right. Lee?
Really undervalued talent. I hope it doesn't end up him just doing his whiskey reviews on his YouTube channel full time, because that would be sad.
All right. Rab?
Married to a Guerrero. Real good hand. But another guy, I mean, they were never... No one here thought that they were going to do anything with him ever again. He's just a background guy.
I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one that, to me, was one of the bigger shockers. Sarah Logan. Scott, we'll start with you on this one.
Kind of surprised, not only because she was just in the chamber and on Raw, literally, when they kind of wrote her off, but they could have easily paired her with the Vikings and could have been that missing piece of that. Like it seems like an obvious thing, especially with the profits with Bianca, right? So
Yeah.
she's good. It's just a case of like they have nothing for her now. Maybe this is a send her off, let her get seasoned, bring her back. I don't know.
All right.
But it's a weird one.
All right, Lee.
Who?
God.
Also true.
God. Oh, of course. God damn it. All right, Rab.
This is one that I think they will bring back in 6 months.
Okay. All right. Rowan. Eric Rowan. Rab.
This is one which will not be back in 6 months. I mean, he's going to get some good work on the indies. NWA, AEW has too many people these days, but yeah, NWA or somewhere like that. He's going to get some good work out there.
All right, Lee.
I could really see him working in Japan. Like he might do really well for himself to go to Japan and work with either New Japan or All Japan, one or the other.
All right, Scott.
This is going to be the best thing for him. He hit a good stride, but never evolved it, and he needed to. And this will work. He has to resist whatever AEW wants him to do to come over with Brody Lee. He has to not go with him there. He's got to do his own thing. That's the best thing for him, is to not follow that.
I hate how the last thing we seen him do was the fucking spider, but that's how it is.
Well, hey,
how
full
it
credit
is.
to him for trying to make it work.
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he tried his best.
I've never
Killed
not
him.
liked him.
Yep.
No, company failed him.
Completely, utterly.
All right. So moving on here, we got Primo Scott.
This was the one where it was like they'll never be released.
Yeah.
Why do you keep someone on the roster for 5 years when you use them for 2 TV shows?
Seriously.
Like there's literally no point in having him there. Like you don't even put him on the live events. There's no point. So
Yep.
this was just chaff being cut when you're like, he's still
All right, Rab.
Who'll get some work in Puerto Rico?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
No, I mean, from what
Uh-oh.
after releases, so they're going to go home and be the stars that they were born to be there.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that leads me right into Epico. Does everybody just want to repeat, or do they want to give their own?
Ditto.
It's
Ditto?
the same thing.
I figured, yeah, everybody was going to be. I was going to group them up, but I didn't know. So, all right. So, Primo Epico, got the ditto in there. Okay. Mike Kanellis, aka Mike Bennett, is probably going back to that. So, we'll start with Lee.
He is going to find a better place to work and fuck his hot wife and not do a cuck angle, probably.
Probably. Scott.
He had potential coming in. He's one of the few guys who skipped NXT, if you remember. He kind of left hoping for a bigger shot and clearly couldn't do it or wasn't able to. Even hearing him talk about the whole cuck thing, he's like, oh man, that'll be a great thing. If they really let me run with this, they'll fucking hate me. And they didn't let him run with it. It was a comedy act. He's like, oh, this is shit. So he'll be fine. He could never outgrow that angle there. Ever. So there's no way around it.
And Rab.
Solid mid-tier indie guy. Actually, it's funny, of so many of the names, there's a lot of bigger names, but I think he'd be one of the better names for AEW, just the kind of stuff they do and his place in the company. I think he'd be a great AEW guy, and they'd be dumb not to pick him up.
Okay.
There's a big caveat, though. It's with Maria.
It's with Maria.
Well, there you go. There's the other name, Maria Rab. Maria Kanellis.
I've loved her since I was 15 years old.
There you go. Lee.
She's incredibly hot. It's pretty telling that when she was in New Japan, the cameramen were focusing on her ass. Like
What cameraman? What cameraman?
Yeah,
all the cameramen.
Award-winning work.
Yeah, I think everyone has saw those GIFs or clips. Yeah, the insane stuff.
No, she'll do well with her husband in a better place where they'll be used better.
Yep, and Scott.
Same. If she doesn't go along with Mike is in trouble.
Gotcha. Okay. Moving on. We got Zack Ryder. Wow. Scott, we'll start with you on that one.
This is the biggest one for me because that's the epitome of a company guy. Like he damn near did it all except for the world title. You could tell he wanted it, but he got hungry, then he got complacent, and back and forth. And he came out with a shirt like immediately after this and a couple designs. And Cody is happy for him. It's one of his friends. He's going to do absolutely fine. And they'll want to bring him back if they can.
Okay. Lee?
Can't wait to see him be treated as the talent he actually is in some other place.
All right. Rab?
Incredibly shocking that they let him go. I mean, he was never going to grow any more than he had already done in WWE. He was never going to do anything else. He was a guy who, I don't know, he didn't make sense. He didn't have the charisma of a guy as popular as he can get. He didn't have the wrestling talent as popular as a guy can get. But for some reason, the whole package was something that made him wildly popular many, many times, despite the fact the company was trying to hold him down.
Okay.
And I just want to add to that he's literally the reason that wrestling on the internet is a certain way. Like, he was the guy who kind of cracked that and figured that out with an online presence. So.
Yep. All right. We got Rusev. We'll go with Lee on this one.
Holy fuck, what the fuck are you doing letting this guy go? That is the dumbest fucking move they made in this whole release thing. This guy is going to go somewhere else and fucking rock the world.
All right. Rab?
It's funny that you went to Lee first, and he said the exact same thing. If you said my name first, I was going to say this is the dumbest thing that they've ever done.
Ever?
Everything that Rusev is a guy who anyone could take him and make him a world champion in 6 months, 3 months. The guy is pure charisma. He's fantastic in the ring. He gets over with the crowd whenever he feels like it, or whenever they let him. Everything they've done with him over the last few years has been super stupid, and they have shown continuously the not understanding.
All right. Scott?
Yeah, they seem to have high hopes for him and pushed him to the moon, and then he started to do his own thing, and that got over more, and they seem to not like that as much. And this is the one name where it would be like, you know what? I wouldn't blame you for paying to keep him on the shelf, because that's one you don't want to let get away. He say what you will, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to AEW and win the world title like this year. It's that kind of guy. Like, I could easily see him do whatever he wants with whoever he wants, because the fans love him no matter what they did to him. He's money no matter what. He can go anywhere he wants.
If you're a company, you can't sit on this motherfucker. Like, you gotta shoot him to the moon. Like,
yeah, because the fans want you to. So
I know it's supposed to be short, but I just want to say WWE clearly never wanted to do anything more with him than being a racist stereotype that sometimes held the IC title, and they clearly wanted nothing else to do with him.
They
no one else to have him.
They wanted him to be Russian Umaga. That's what they wanted.
That's perfectly valid comparison. Right. They wanted him to be Russian Umaga.
And if you do that right, you still get a world champion out of it. And except he was able to do more, and they were like, yeah, but that's not what we wanted. Why do you want to be more popular than we wanted you to be? It's ridiculous.
So last, I'm going to group these two together. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, The Revival. We'll group them together since I didn't group Primo and Epico. We'll start with Rab, The Revival.
Forever the R. Revolt now, fuck it. Obviously they're going to AEW and they're going to tear the fucking roof down.
Okay. Scott.
Yeah, they seem to be beelining toward the Bucks. That's a big thing, but they could easily go dominate in the NWA. They're a victim of the tag wrestling scene in WWE not being hot, so, or even respected. Even when it is, it's like, no, we have two teams. They're it. So they'll benefit elsewhere. They didn't want to be there. Why keep them?
All right, Lee.
They should go to Japan. Fuck North America. Go to Japan. Fucking rock the fucking world over there. Come back with.
Well, there you go.
I mean, you could definitely see them doing the Moxley thing.
Say WWE, go fuck yourself, and make some money. Like, honestly, I don't want to see them in AEW because their tag division is absolute dog shit. NWA would probably be a better fit for them to build the tag division around.
Okay.
Well, they've even said they want to be in the Crockett Cup when that comes back.
There you go.
It's the lay.
Fucking do it.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. So for the WWE superstars, wrestlers. That's all I have. I have 4 NXT names I'm going to go through. I'm going to be honest. I only know 2 of these, but
I think some went before they even made TV, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like 30 people from NXT in the Performance Center got like, so this is a short list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only have 4 names here that I saw from the list I got. Deonna Purrazzo, is that how you pronounce that last name? I think that's it.
Yeah,
I know of her.
She's really good.
Purrazzo.
There you go. So I guess Lee, you said she's really good. Anything else?
She's really fucking good. Rogers, she knows how to fucking work, and letting her go is a fucking mistake.
All right, Rab.
I mean, she's a real good hand. She's another one that's she's steady in the ring. She could carry those young untrained talents through matches and teach them how to actually wrestle. It's a big. That's actually gonna be a big loss. I think they're gonna feel in the Performance Center and bringing other girls up.
All right, Scott.
Same. It almost feels like if she'd been there a bit earlier, she would have been more established and not as much of a risk here. So it's almost like, well, we haven't really done much with it yet. We can always bring it back later. It feels like that. So yeah.
All right. I got. Excuse me for not knowing who this is. I'm very sorry. MJ Jenkins. I don't know who that is. Does anybody know who that is?
No, I got no idea.
Okay. They're on the list. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
I don't even know who that is.
I did not Google that name.
I think he's the guy who never made TV yet.
It's a woman.
MJ Jenkins.
Are they related to Leroy Jenkins?
There we go. I just looked. Yeah, I just looked her up on Google here. Yep, I'd never seen her wrestle. So okay, well she was on the list that I saw. So either way, she got let go. Sucks. I guess maybe she didn't get an opportunity. Here's another name that I don't know. Maybe you guys do, and I hope I pronounce it right. Aleksandar Jaksic.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Do you know who that is? I guess if you do, Scott, you can go for. No. Okay.
No. I just saw him post. Oh, I didn't get to make my debut. I'm like, it sucks.
Well, shit. These guys are people that didn't make. I know the next one. Okay, so we'll skip that person too. This person definitely. We know who it is. Cassius Ono. We'll start with Rab.
I mean, he was never gonna. There was no point in him being in NXT. He just was in NXT. He should be back on the Indies anyways. It's better for him.
Okay. Lee. Oh, I think
nice one, Lee.
You're breaking up there, Lee. Scott, go.
Similar to Kurt Hawkins. Having him there would have been beneficial, but there's no need to have him there.
Paper, but the name.
Sounds like you're speaking a different language. All right, Lee, you might have to reconnect when you get a chance, when you can hear us. Pop back out and pop back in. That helped you earlier.
I'm here. No.
Oh, there we go.
Stupid fucking name.
Stupid name.
Yep, got it.
There it is.
I still Cassius.
You became Peanut. You have become Peanut.
Close the book on that one.
So, Scott, I'll let you finish yours. Go.
What, for Ono?
Yeah, did you finish with Ono?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. He's fine. They could have used him forever to put people over, and it would have been fine and believable. And like Hawkins, he could have been there forever, collecting a paycheck, and it would have been good. But he'll benefit going elsewhere, and yeah.
Cool. All right. So
you missed a decent name.
I did miss a decent name. Oh,
yes, in NXT.
Throw it out there. Let's throw it out there.
Tay Conti.
Who?
Taynara Conti.
Who?
Yeah, you need to Google her, bro. Yeah, you need to Google her.
Spell it. Or
Tay space Conti. You need to Google her.
Yeah, she's been on TV and stuff too.
She's been on TV. She wrestles in NXT. She
was one of the first NXT names that got mentioned. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wonder why she wasn't on the list that I had.
Isn't she the one that joked about being released beforehand?
Oh, is she from Brazil? I see a little Brazil flag behind her and everything.
She's very Brazilian, and I'm crying in Latino.
Okay. Well, I was not that familiar with her.
Whether she existed?
Yep.
We can almost list Matt Hardy because he was released like a week prior to all this. His contract ended. Yeah. He would have been released if he hadn't been.
Wow.
He clearly wanted to go elsewhere. He's talked about that. So we know what he's done, blah, blah, blah.
He's totally rocking in the world in AEW.
Yes. You're still breaking up a little bit, Lee, but yeah, we did hear that sentence. Yeah, AEW, he's definitely been very strange as we expected. He had the teleportation on I think that was his debut, where he was like teleporting in the stands.
Yes.
The follow-up week, but yeah.
Or the follow-up week. Okay, yeah, I knew it was relatively.
Yeah, he
soon.
appeared and then did this stuff. Or it wasn't teleportation; it was different Vanguard ones projecting holograms of him. That's how they explained it.
Yeah,
away.
AEW Sports.
God.
Space Breath America right now, guys. That's what. There's where it's at, right there.
That's it. Okay, so I have a list of a couple people that were either furloughed or we don't know if they will be back with the WWE or not, that are
I was
non-wrestlers.
gonna say I got a couple more names. So
yeah, there's
other
definitely
names.
Yeah,
but,
these are non-wrestling names that we're gonna go through real quick. We're gonna start with, I think, one of the biggest names that probably, to me, this is probably the biggest name on the whole list that I was surprised about. Mike Keota, referee. We'll go with Rab. Rab, start us off. Mike Keota, man.
This was bad enough that my wife saw the list independent of me, and she looked at me. She goes, "Fucking Mike Keota."
That's great. That's great. Scott.
Mike Keota is a simple case where they could afford to have 10 referees, and he cost 3 worth, and they had 11 referees.
That's a good point. That is
He's
probably
that
a very.
kind of guy. Well, there's also there's 2 of them, so there's probably like, look, the 2 most expensive. Sorry, guys, we only need this many. We'll bring you back when we can. It really seemed like that. He might even been like, no, let me take the fall. I'm good. I got a nest egg, something.
Yeah.
But that's a case where loyalty would have been him there forever. So.
Yep. And Lee, are you with us? Can you give us a Mike Keota?
I'm here, Mike Keota.
Yep, Mike Keota.
Let's face facts. The WWE is
Man. You're killing us, Lee.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
an example of jokes here.
God damn it.
So, fuck the WWE.
All right, Lee, you still okay? You are still breaking up really bad. I don't know if
It's
you
really
can
bad.
try to do
God damn
something. It is very funny, but you are still breaking up very bad.
It's kind of summed it up.
to speak overly. The other thing is, I mean, it's a clear sign of the WWE moved away from having their refs having any kind of personality or, knowing anything about the referees. Probably like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back when I was, a teenager or whatever. You knew all the referees by name. They would mention them constantly. They would mention senior referees and Hebner and Tim White. Teddy Long, they would mention all these guys by name, and once Nick Patrick went over, they would mention all these guys by name, Little Nate, but since then, there's just the official. So I mean, WWE has really moved away from a area where they had people know who their senior referees were, and
refs
so
are an important part
now and then, but yeah,
and
they're
refs,
just guys.
The refs mean nothing anymore in this
Refs
company.
mean nothing.
They've nerfed.
Yeah, exactly. They've
nerfed them. Yeah.
Simulating a fucking sport. We're supposed to have fucking refs, and they're supposed to be fucking respected, but they don't do that in WWE at all.
That's
it's
true.
It's fucking pathetic.
And like as Rab was saying, they used to, which was the weird part.
They used to completely.
It's kind of like managers, though, too. They kind of like managers were a big thing, and they kind of phased those out. And I mean, they can't phase refs out, but like as far as making them a important element or like a character type deal.
I don't know.
You do enough boneyards and fireflies, you can phase refs out.
Right.
Oh God.
But besides Drake, I don't know any of the refs' names.
All those new guys. I don't know many.
Like John Cone, I think his name is.
Yeah, John Cone. Sure, who's going to get fired?
They're the one, and there's the girl. I don't know her name, but she went from NXT.
I know Aubrey Edwards in AEW.
Damn right.
Yeah, but she's but with Keota and that whole thing, like there's levels where you look at him or like Ryder or Rusev or different ones that you wanted to keep. They could have tried to find other ways to cut costs elsewhere. The fact that they either didn't or couldn't, that really tells you how this was. This wasn't just we're done with him. Like, as people saw, why'd you release him? Because we can't keep him.
Right.
That's it. So
So I think Lee's back in operations at least a little bit here. We're gonna move on here. We got next name up, Finley. Lee, start us off. Finley, that is.
Stupid mistake. What a stupid mistake this is too. Like this guy is one of the guys who's single-handedly responsible for how good the women's division is now, and they just let him go.
Well, maybe
I believe he is a furlough.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, some of these names could be furloughs. Some of them, we don't know exactly which ones, I believe. So
Yeah,
we're
there's
just
been
going
different rumors about different guys.
Yeah, so we will still cover them, even though they may be back, they may not. Yeah, I should have prefaced that more at the beginning.
If I was AEW,
Yeah, if I was AEW too.
Yeah.
time to fix their women's division if they want to keep it.
Well, I mean, they got Kenny
put up
Omega.
feelers. No, yeah, they do.
I'm
That's
just kidding.
Exactly.
I
With furloughs too, the thing is, like when they're doing international touring and multiple shows around the world, around the country, you need to have 8 people do this one job. But now when they're doing it out of one place, yeah, maybe we need 2 or 3.
And not just that, the performance center is down. You know, a lot of what Finley's work isn't happening.
Yeah,
they're not training the next set. They're literally running with what they got. So it's simply a case of, hey, when things get back, we'll run it back.
And yes, might AEW come and poach him? Sure. But they're not going to do it right now.
Because they have no reason to either.
Because they also have no reason to do it.
Yep. All right, so let's get back in the format here. Shane Helms is the next one, a.k.a. the Hurricane. We'll go with Rab.
He shouldn't have picked up the phone.
Okay. All right. We'll go with Scott.
He tweeted that. He tweeted that.
Oh, is that what he said? Okay.
Yeah, he made the JTG joke. He tweeted that he shouldn't have picked up the phone.
Nice. Scott.
Yeah. We're gonna list a bunch of producers right now, and it's simply a case of you don't need 5 people doing the job of one that's working right now. So there's.
I mean, the thing is, besides Finley, I don't really know what the rest of the producers were doing.
Yeah,
so I don't really have a lot to say about it.
Okay.
Like he might have focused on tag matches. Well, cool. They just got rid of some tag teams. Okay, well, sorry, we're not using you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they don't have a bigger roster, you don't need to have as many people to produce that roster, and it's just the extension of it.
Okay.
And he's one that went, and he's one that's been gone and back and gone and back and gone and back and gone and back. So it's whatever for him. He'll be fine.
Lee, any thoughts on Shane Helms being released or furloughed?
I had no idea he was working there.
There you go. All right. Billy Kidman. I guess I don't know if you guys are going to ditto everything, but Billy Kidman. Oh, Scott.
Same. I don't know what he did specifically. If it was like, oh, he did cruiserweight stuff. Cool. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Same as Helms.
All right.
His
Lee,
life has gone downhill since Tori Wilson.
Downhill ever since Tori. I think that could be a very accurate statement. Lee pieced out on us for a second. He's trying to get his internet back, so we'll move on. Mike Rotunda, a.k.a. IRS. Now, I know, like, again, this could be... If you guys want, we can just stop doing the names and just I can go through them.
Well, no, this one...
Okay.
I'll start on this one quick, because this is, like, family for some of the guys.
Yeah.
It's a little odd to see that one. You talk about a veteran who's been there forever. It's IRS, man. He was released on April 15th.
Released on tax day.
Like, you can't make this shit up. Even I know that, and our tax day is different. Like,
that's awesome. I mean, sucks for him, but I mean, like, you know, ironically awesome.
Yeah, it's at the same time, he'll be back. He'll be back, if even only for the Hall of Fame at some point. Like, it's not like this is a permanent thing. I feel for him, it's wrestling too.
Ooh.
It's a different.
That's an interesting Hall of Fame name, like a debatable one, because to me, he's kind of on the fence. Like, I think I remember him quite well. I think he was great, but I don't know if he quite.
Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame.
That's true.
He easily could be the second name on the 3-hour Hall of Fame show.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely
Third name.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Rab, did you have anything about IRS being let go?
I didn't even know he worked there.
Okay, there it is. Here's one that I don't know if you guys knew worked there. Sean Davari.
I did know he worked there.
All right, Rab, go.
His brother commented on it. Yeah.
Any
I knew he worked there.
Oh, that was your okay. That was your okay, Scott.
Yeah. A lot of these names just kind of came in, so they weren't really as solidly there, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, look, it's easier to just cut losses right now. We'll see you in a bit. So.
All right. Lee is back for a split second at least. Sean Davari.
Seems like a missed opportunity, but he's been around there for years and misused, so that just kind of sucks for him. He could do way better in the indies. Like, see him going like the MLW or someplace. He could probably clean up pretty good.
Because he's like younger, right? Yeah, he could definitely get back in the ring.
Didn't he just fuck up some guy on a train a couple of years back?
I did not hear about that. Maybe
he did. That's the thing.
Wow.
Google it.
Okay.
He fucked up a guy. Some guy was fucking with someone else on the train, and he had enough of it.
Oh,
and then
like
threw him off the train.
stepped up for somebody. That's
It's
pretty
great.
cool.
There's a video. It's fantastic. Look it up.
All right,
Google that
I
shit.
will check that. I'll check that. All right, here's another name. This is a big one.
We should ask Lee about Rotunda as well.
Oh, Mike Rotunda, IRS. Lee, he was released as well. So,
He can retire.
there you go.
A fair point. Yeah.
To be fair, he should have done well with his money.
True. He should have. If he didn't, he didn't work that gimmick right. All right. Here's a big name. Kurt Angle was also released. I assume he was just kind of thrown in with the other guys, kind of a producer doing his thing. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but we'll go with Rab. Kurt Angle.
He must have just been getting paid too much money. That's one of those that Scott, touches on this whole podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He must have just been making way too much money.
Yeah. All right. Scott.
Yeah, and they said he was released, so he was on a performer contract, and he would literally show up and talk to the camera. You know what? We can get Booker T on from Skype. We can get him on Zoom. We don't need Kurt Angle to do that. Like, cool. It too expensive.
Oh, so he wasn't on. He wasn't a producer, like helping out in the back.
He might have been too.
Okay.
He was released at least from his performer contract.
Yeah, he wasn't furloughed.
He might have been furloughed from his producer job. There could be more involved on that.
Well, he posted a whole thing like my time with the WWE was great and I'll miss it.
There you go.
So it sounds like
he could easily go anywhere he wants. He is Kurt Angle. He can do anything. He can come back, but if he comes back, it's for a lower rate.
Yeah.
The main thing with this one though was I saw people in Discord. I know I'm going long, but they were like, "Why do you release Kurt Angle?" Literally, what were they doing with him? Nothing.
Yeah.
That's why.
All right.
They didn't pay for nothing. Why bother? No, that's it.
And Lee, Kurt Angle.
His last run was embarrassing. It sucked, and honestly, I don't ever want to see him again. So he can retire.
All right. Scott Armstrong. I know he was a referee at one
former
point.
senior referee.
Yep, and he apparently took on a backstage role as like a producer and stuff like that with a lot of the other guys. So, Scott Armstrong. Scott.
Mike Keota, Part 2. It really seems like he's a veteran guy that could have been there forever. And
To be fair, he was not there nearly as long as Keota.
No.
True.
But he's like the next one. So
Yeah.
it sucks. It's the Armstrongs. They have bad luck in wrestling, but always seem to bounce back somewhere. He'll be fine. The AEW will probably try to pick him up. I could see it.
All right.
That's how they operate.
Rab.
Now that he said, he was in WCW, so yes, AEW.
Oh my God. Okay. Lee.
Cody
Hey, let's
probably
be
wants
real.
him. Yeah.
Don't
No.
laugh at that shit.
No, that's how Cody operates.
AEW really wants people to see them as the successor to WCW.
I can definitely
With
get
Siobhan
on.
and with a lot of the way they produce the show, they definitely have a different brand of wrestling. But with a lot of the production of the show, they make callbacks to it all the time. They bring old WCW guys just to be around. Look,
It's
Scott
back on
Armstrong's going to be
TNT.
there.
Yeah.
I can get on board with it. I can see it. Lee. Scott Armstrong.
He's Southern wrestling royalty, as far as I'm concerned. His family is the Armstrong curse is bullshit. They were successful in everywhere except for the WWE. Basically, that's about it. Except for the bullshit Armstrong, Road Dogg, who's just a piece of shit. Fuck him.
The one that
But,
was successful in WWE.
Yeah, no, he's a piece of garbage. But the rest of them are great, and Scott can, honestly, AEW be stupid not to pick him up as a ref.
Okay.
Or backstage producer, whatever the fuck, but
Yeah. Last name I have on my list here, Lance Storm. We'll start with Lee on this one.
He just started with a company and they dropped him.
I know
Poor
that
fucker.
sucks.
They made him close up his fucking wrestling school for this big job, and then he goes there. Oh, by the way, coronavirus, you're
Yeah.
fired. Bye.
They made
So-
him kiss the ring.
Yeah, pretty much. I really like Lance Storm. He made a bad move, and he's another guy that AEW could like swipe up and do well with. But
Yeah. Rab.
Yeah, they made him kiss the ring, and then just to have everything dropped on him. But he just had it's just bad luck. Because to be fair, if I was WWE and I was releasing a bunch of producers, that would be one of the first people I released to. You kind of release first in, first out. He just got there.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Scott.
Yeah, the other thing to remember too is he can't even cross the border right now, so he's on
Right.
the chopping block even
Oh.
more so than the others.
Very true. Very true.
Point.
So yeah, it's like, sorry, dude. And it seems to be a case where they would try to bring him back if he could. Like clearly they wanted him, they just brought him in. I like to think they weren't going to be like, oh, we can get rid of him now. Ha ha ha. No, that's anybody thinking that Vince is evil? Really? Okay, sure, keep going.
Vince
I
is
mean,
like,
he
"Oh,
might
he's
be,
so
but not like that.
boring.
Um,
So boring.
yeah, he's literally got a mind for it in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I heard, he's like a fantastic trainer and all that, and he's helped a lot of
So
the
he
female
says.
talent. Well,
Yeah, he says, yeah.
well, you know.
Hey, look, Lance Storm is really into Lance Storm.
I mean, I was a big Lance Storm fan. He was pretty cool.
I mean, you're not
like,
wrong.
I like him and Justin Credible were a
I just mean,
fantastic
like,
tag
just-
team.
I don't know if you follow him, follow his career since he retired as an active performer.
I follow him on Twitter. I
But
don't know if
Lance
that counts.
Storm really thinks, yeah, exactly. Lance Storm really thinks Lance Storm has all the best ideas. Lance Storm thinks that Lance Storm could be the best booker on the planet.
he has put a lot of weight on his opinion.
Okay,
That's for sure.
Well, he has a better opinion, I think, than most would have, though. So I mean,
although
give him some-
he's
Lance
not
Storm
wrong.
knows up and down, left and right more about the business than I do. Don't get me wrong.
oh sure.
Lance Storm, for someone who has so little to show for it, as far as his post career does, Lance Storm is really into Lance Storm.
Yep. So that was the list we went through.
You're missing a really big name.
Am
There was
I?
another name I know of.
Jesus.
Yes, you're missing a really big name, like a really big one.
How the hell? Who?
Gerald Briscoe was released.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't say.
Well,
Okay.
He was furloughed like 3 days ago.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
three. That's probably the list I saw.
It was
might
recent.
not have
It was
been-
recent. Yeah.
That might not have been that up to date. All right. I guess Lee. Let's go, Gerald Briscoe.
I mean, he should be retired by now. So
True.
I mean, I think he's just one of those guys who likes to keep working. So that's the only reason he was still there, and I'm sure they'll probably bring him back eventually.
All right, Scott.
Yeah, it's one of those job for life kind of guys. Same with Howard Finkel, who just
Yeah.
passed.
Yeah.
I can compare it to UFC where they had Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes on like forever jobs as like ambassadors of the sport. Then they got bought out for $4 billion and had to cut costs and let people go. And it's like, yeah, sorry, these jobs are gone now because they're not really real. Not to say that Briscoe
Yeah.
wasn't, because he was literally recruiting guys actively
Mm-hmm.
still. But yeah, we're not recruiting anybody either. So sorry, dude.
Yep. Rab.
Yeah, Briscoe's been there longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
Legitimately, he supposedly was one of their best recruiters. Exactly, like he.
Oh, I believe
apparently
that,
He still had a tremendous eye for talent. But yeah, I guess. Yeah, on one hand, yes, I guess they're not going around. On the other hand, it's Jerry Briscoe, and he's been there for all of time. And this is more proof that that if he hadn't died, they would have let go of Howard Finkel 2 days ago.
And and he's probably one of the furloughs. I'm sure. Like, right? I feel like he definitely be
Briscoe's
one
a
of the.
furlough.
Probably, yeah.
He
Said so
definitely would be a
himself.
guy
He's
to
a
come
furlough.
back. Yeah, I feel for sure.
He's a furlough.
Yeah.
There's one other name that I saw during all that. One of the trainers, Sarah Stock.
I don't even know.
Dark
who that
Angel.
is.
She's a Canadian wrestler. Did a lot of training with the women. Again, they're not training, so
Yeah.
they're not doing it.
Dark Angel.
Um,
I've never heard of her.
She was Sarita in TNA.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, exactly. Just Teresa.
Oh.
I had heard that as well.
Yeah.
Supposedly she was doing great work with the girls, but
She'd been there forever. Like, she was one of the starting people at the Performance Center, and was just like, "Look, you're like Adam Pearce. You're behind the camera now. You might be able to do it, but this is what you do." And
Okay.
she did it great. She's one of the with Finley, one of the ones who kind of got everybody where they need to be. She's gone, so it's like it's not a matter of you're no good. It's look, we're not training anybody. Sorry. So
Okay. Oh, her and
Rosita.
yeah. Yeah, they were the knockout tag team champions.
Yeah,
Right.
part of Mexican America, I think they were called.
Okay.
LAX, or was it? Or
No,
No,
that
not
was-
LAX.
oh, it was a different thing, was it?
Yeah, it was Hernandez and Anarchia.
Yeah, that was one of the darker times for me in TNA when I was not as into it back in that point. But yeah,
But yeah, he was like an indie
slightly
women's
familiar.
champion here and there, but
Yeah, and for the last, I don't know,
Like
3
10
or 4
years?
years, 5 years, 6 years, for
I
a
thought it was
while.
longer
She's
than
been,
that, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
she's been, it's been her, Finley, and Sarah Del Rey, really training up the girls, and obviously the women's division is a pretty big part of NXT. So
And
Yep.
yeah, I mean, at WWE as well. But yeah, yep. So any other names that I did not see? I think we got them all.
That's all I know of. There was one writer that was named, but that goes to the point of, like I said,
Yeah,
where like
I did
40% of office staff are gone. So there's much more than 30 wrestlers. Yeah, and like probably 100 others that you don't even know about.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot that we don't know. I did see that the one woman that I remember did the Otis thing. She was on the list, but I had a feeling most people weren't gonna know who she was anyway, so I didn't
Yeah.
include her.
Yeah,
still-
they could lose her.
Yeah, she was like apparently I saw she was only there for like 4 months, and she did the Otis thing, and that was it. So I mean,
And
Yeah,
to be
and it
fair,
was so important to her. It's so
Well, it
special
does
to
suck.
write this stupid ass bullshit
Oh, you did-
angle. Fuck off.
well, it was well received. But what I was going to say is,
Sure.
writing jobs like that, there's turnover. That's
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
to them, you hear them talk about it. It's a show. It's a job. They're not as passionate as some of the others. So
Yeah,
they're the ones that are going to go if that's the case. Not to say
She
she
can
didn't
go
care about
to-
her job, but
She can go write some Fraggle Rock / fiction or whatever. Fuck.
I
Doing beforehand.
speaking of writers and stuff that like they talk about the turnaround and stuff. Back in the day, long time. I'm talking back in like I don't know high school, somewhere around that time. I did role playing stuff like RP wrestling things, like you had characters and you would compete against other people based off of like how well you did your character against other people. One of my friends in the little, I don't know if you want to call it a league or not, but in a company, he ended up later on down the road hired by WWE as a writer, and he was there for I think 2 months. He did stuff for fuck me. Oh my god. Why can't I get the
hints,
name?
please. Any hints?
Yes, NWA. Aaron, the NWA right now. Power. He's
Aaron Stevens.
Aaron Stevens. Yes.
so Mizdow?
Mizdow. Yes.
Yes, Sandow, yeah.
Sandow. He wrote the Sandow stuff when Sandow was doing when he would like pull people in from the crowd and do the smart stuff. He wrote Sandow stuff. That's
Cool.
the stuff he did. Yeah, and he was actually one of the people that got pulled into the ring for one of the segments, but he was the writer for the Sandow stuff. That's pretty much he did that for like 2 months, and then he got released. So there's nothing new about turnaround. Yeah, the writers they come in, they do like almost like him. That's what he focused on, and then they let him go after that. So
Looking through the list real quick, I see another one. Serena Deeb, I guess, got let go as well.
who?
Serena Deeb, she used to be in the Straight Edge Society. She's been a coach there for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
I missed some of the coaches and stuff.
Well, she was a performer for
Yeah,
a while. She was in the
she's
Straight
the one
Edge
that shaved her head.
Society. She's the one who shaved her head.
Yeah. Okay.
She's cute.
Well, that sucks.
She very much so. Yeah, no, and she was another one of the ones. So it looks like they got a lot of the coaches from the women in NXT in the Performance Center.
Again, it just goes to the fact that they're not doing much with the Performance Center. So
True.
sorry,
And
guys. We'll bring it back when we reopen it, but
You know what? Is there any names that you guys are surprised about that have not been released? That I'm going to throw one out here right now. Bo Dallas. I'm very surprised I didn't see his name.
I was
on
thinking
this
that
list.
one earlier too.
I'm surprised Tyler
Jinder
Breeze.
Mahal.
Tyler Breeze, Jinder.
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler
is
wants to
really
be
good.
there, but I'm surprised they didn't cut him anyway.
Tyler seems to be one of the ones that everyone talks about. He's just happy, just pulling a paycheck and doing nothing. So yeah, it's really surprising they
Is
have that.
Fandango still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, another one. Sorry, I
didn't
got
see his
Hispanic
name.
there for a second.
No, but of all the ones where it's like they're if anybody wants a release, they can get it. And Axel is released. Who knows if that's part of it or not? But
True.
now it's like, who's going to call that bluff? Who's going to go out there against all these other names? Which really,
I'm just-
when you think of it,
I'm just waiting
it's
for,
Ryder, Hawkins, and Rusev are the big competitors you've got.
I'm just waiting for Braun Strowman to get these food stamps.
Oh my
Great.
god, get these food stamps. So so those are the list of the names that we just went through there. There's a lot, and there's probably going to be several more to come in the upcoming weeks. We'll get there when we see him. I guess there's definitely
if they release Corbin, is COVID worth it?
Oh my god. There's obviously we know there's no way he's getting released. Come on now.
No, we don't know that.
Well, true. I guess that's true.
Might
It
still
is
get
the
the
most
COVID, though.
unprecedented time. There's
That is true.
literally could be.
You don't want to
I've
lose your
heard-
top heel though.
He's not. There's been
I was
rumblings,
waiting to
so,
see what you guys said.
I wasn't even going to dignify that with a response.
No. For all intents and purposes, Goldberg isn't wrestling anymore this year. He's been released. But he also got paid too much money. But the other thing I was hearing is that NXT UK is kind of shut down right now.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
But they're not really being released because they didn't cost much.
Oh. I wonder if well, I guess nobody's wrestling. I was going to say, I wonder if they're being shut down if they can wrestle elsewhere, but nobody's wrestling, so I don't know I don't know.
WWE is, AEW is, and AAA is.
Yeah. Oh, AAA is doing stuff, huh?
They're doing shows in Mexico in a closed arena, and the refs wear masks.
Oh, well, there you go. That makes
well,
sense.
if anywhere was ready to wear masks,
I was about to say that AAA would be the place.
And don't worry, go to Florida because UFC is going to start doing weekly goddamn shows down there.
Well, Florida just opened up as the floodgate the moment DeSantis made WWE a essential.
Yeah.
So I did a promo for our JRPL. Go sign up for that, people.
JRPL.
Where I literally said that my character provides an essential service, so I was allowed to come over the border and continue to wrestle.
Mhm.
And then WWE got announced essential services, and I'm like, they just copied my heel promo. What the fuck?
There you go.
That was my heel promo that's so heel shtick that you'd
It's-
see it, but you're like, that's bullshit. Come fuck off.
Well,
They
they,
also gave $10 million to DeSantis.
Yeah.
Did you give
WWE
$10 million to DeSantis?
No.
Well,
not yet. It's all right. WWE is always copying us, so it's fine. I understand. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Bunch of hacks.
Yeah. So there was something that Lee wanted to touch on. Some kind of some beef that hit up on the social media sphere.
I just wanted to. I'm probably wrong for doing this because this is kind of what this asshole fucking wants, but I wanted to highlight Joey Ryan's latest little Twitter tirade fucking about. I'd rather, it's related to Kenny Omega giving some jobber way too much offense in one of his matches, basically. Like, it stemmed from that argument. But he's like, I'd rather have, matches where jobbers got ton of offense instead of, like, a match like this. And he linked a clip of Vader pummeling some fucking nobody into submission with his punches and shit. Vader, this big bully who just ran over people and hurt people in the ring and shit. And it's like, yeah, Vader did hurt people in the ring, but he didn't do it on purpose. And here's the real funny thing. The jobber in question in that clip came on Twitter and said, hey, I'm the guy who was in that match with Vader, and Vader didn't fucking hurt me at all. He was light as a fucking feather and treated me with respect. So fuck you, Joey Ryan, you piece of shit, trying to make some sort of political point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not wrong.
Vader's
There's
famously light.
Well,
there's definitely people in the business who have taken liberties and hurt people. Vader has definitely hurt people in the past, but it's not like he was a guy who was known for taking liberties, like intentionally trying to fuck people up.
And I thought I was about to say, I thought Vader was famously known for being like a super nice guy, like super like a
Yes.
teddy bear, as people would
Yep.
say. Like,
too much so, almost. But yeah.
Yeah,
to
it
the,
seems
to
weird.
the point
Yeah.
where it hurt his career. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but Joey Ryan was trying to make this point, and you know what? If he had picked somebody else, then his point is actually kind of solid.
Sure.
But Joey Ryan, being Joey Ryan, because he's a fucking dumb fuck, he's a piece of shit, he's a hypocrite and an asshole. He's a bigger bully than Vader ever was. By the way, there are some stories. I don't know if they're necessarily 100%
True.
accurate, but the idea that if if you're working in California, you're working in the mud show circuit, and you don't touch Joey Ryan's dick, you don't get booked. Basically, you don't get booked for a fucking match if you're not going to touch his dick.
Moolah rules then.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That sounds like Moolah rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing with this whole thing is, Cornette got involved, of course, because people brought it to his attention.
Oh,
and I love the comment he said of course Dick Boy thought the punches weren't a work. And I'm like, the first thing I thought of that was Vader clubs people all the time like that, and it's like, that's just how it happens. He's not actually hitting him. He's just doing what he does. And they suplexed the dude, and it was like, yeah, I know he landed fine. It looked good because he's a goddamn pro.
Well,
and it's I get where they were going with, but Vader's beloved for that. It's kind of silly.
Yeah, and the most telling thing to me was the guy, like Lee said, the guy actually came out and said, "What the fuck are you guys talking about?" Like, he was fine. Well, that to me is the biggest thing. Like, okay, well, there you go.
Lee and I talked about this when Power debuted, and Eli Drake had his first match, and it was a squash. Mm-hmm. It was like 2 or 3 minutes. He beat the guy soundly, but there was a little flurry of offense, a bit here and there, and it actually looked like the other guy had a chance if he could capitalize just perfectly, but it was taken away from him. That's a perfect squash to make it believable and still make you think, hey, on the right day, this guy might pull it off, but that's not this day. That's a good squash. When someone goes out there and just Rybacks him or JBL clotheslines him and it's over, squash, but it's not as fun. I get where that's where they're trying to go by having a competitive squash, but when someone's portrayed like Kenny Omega, love him or hate him, as the best ever who ever can live, and he's going one-on-one with some nobody, and there's no goal for that nobody to ever get anywhere, why are you doing that? That's way too much for that guy to get in. If it's Omega and Pentagon, like it all in, okay. You're elevating this guy to be on level with you. Not that Pentagon's a jobber, but he was not as in the right.
He wasn't a big singles contender.
No one saw him like that, and that elevated him.
Yeah.
Goddamn, fucking Candido and Horowitz did that, where it got Horowitz over for a bit. That's how you did it. It was the goal to have him get some in and actually get a win. Look at him go. Gilbert, the job score. It's that kind of thing. This nobody Omega went with made it look competitive. Yeah, but why? Why is that competitive? Who's this guy? He's nobody, and he never will be. What are you doing? That's why I don't like that.
There's this big wave that I'm seeing. Like I follow the Hurricane as well, or Shane Helms on Twitter, and he has no problem getting into it with people on Twitter, which is always fun. But people I've seen recently, he's been getting stuff about. People hate squashes. People hate jobbers. People are like, we don't need this. This is like useless in wrestling and stuff like that. And he's like, no, it's not. And like he will get flooded by comments for people just hating. Like they want every match. I don't understand the concept of every match needs to be competitive. Every match needs to be even, equal. People complained about this not long ago, where everything's 50-50. Okay, but now they're complaining about the squash matches. Squash matches definitely work because a lot of people say, "Oh, they don't even work." Braun Strowman is to me the perfect example of squash matches as of recently, working perfectly because he did the thing with the Wyatt family. I didn't like him at all. I didn't care for him. He was super green anyway, but he never really got over until he started doing that big line of squash matches, including like that's kind of when Ellsworth came through and all that kind of stuff, and that is when he actually took off, and it was through squash matches. I mean, they definitely work. So
the one that I always think of is Ryback.
Sure, Ryback too
was restructured to come out there and just destroy fools on
Umaga's
pay-per-views. And the Ryback one though, the way they did it was with nobodies, and they had it where people were watching, like, man, look at him go, and then he took on 2 of them, and it was like, okay. And they actually had it and built it so well that it was believable that this dude could take on anybody, that they actually programmed him in against CM Punk during that title reign. And people were upset when Ryback didn't win because the story worked. They could have done it. Look at that, worked. It almost worked too well. Like, we didn't want to be this good. But none of those guys he squashed were going anywhere. They were bouncing off him to show how superior Ryback is in that sense. With Kenny Omega, he should be able to outclass fools like that. It's a different level.
Yeah. Kenny Omega
he destroys them.
Kenny Omega had 40-minute matches with fucking Okada in Japan. And you're supposed to believe that some nobody like has a competitive match with him in AEW, get the fuck out of here. It shoots the entire credit. Yeah, sure, wrestling's fake, but you're supposed to believe in it. You're supposed to fucking suspend your disbelief and get caught up in the shit. And I can't do that if I'm watching Johnny bullshit fucking get moves in on Kenny Omega, who should have finished him off with one V-trigger.
Remember back when Snitsky debuted? It was Kane versus some no-name big guy, and he started getting offense in and actually like did something in the end. You're like, who is this guy? Yeah, it's because they had a plan for him. There was something going on with him. This no-name is just some guy that Omega's facing. That's all it is. I know Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had problems with that, with their lead character facing Bruce Lee, and he was even with Bruce Lee, beating him up. Oh, how could he treat Bruce Lee bad? No, it's to get this guy over. It's to make it work. They have a goal for him. It's not that he's nobody and that's Bruce Lee. No, they're even, but they did it poorly.
And here's the thing about wrestling now. That just goes to show how many people don't understand what fucking wrestling actually is. It's supposed to be a simulation of actual sports, is what it's supposed to fucking be.
And sometimes there's blowouts.
There's winners, there's losers, sometimes there's fucking blowouts. The Harlem fucking Globetrotters, you know why they sold? Because they fucking beat schlubs. And they look good doing it. And that's what fucking wrestling does. You make stars.
And the best part is, with the Globetrotters, there was an instance when they actually played for real and started to lose, but they were good enough to come back. They're that good. You have to be good to be able to pull this shit off.
Yes.
Omega can make it work with anybody, but he shouldn't. That's part of the thing we have here. Like, there's no goal to him going even with this nobody.
All right.
Omega needs someone to book him.
All right. So, the last thing I want to close on today. Rab, did you have anything to do with jobbers? Do you have any input before I move on? I don't want to cut you off.
Only that my favorite jobbers against Ryback were they were the commanders in chief. It was Willard Fillmore and Rutherford P.S. Hayes.
What the fuck? I don't remember that.
And it was something I will never forget.
I remember that. That was on a paper.
Well, you got to remember because you guys were talking about Ryback. So I didn't want to interrupt everything because you guys have really good points, and I didn't want to interrupt it with stupid. But this is that. This is a thought that was happening in my head while you guys were having like real substance.
Yeah.
One of the things that worked with Ryback is they still made it really entertaining, because they kept having him do handicap matches where he would just like fuck up two guys at once. But they had all the tag teams he would go up against cut real quick, really funny promos, like just quick dumb promos. There was one that I quote to this day, that whenever anyone says, like, for some reason someone will say like 2 is greater than 1 or 2 is more than 1, I will repeat 2 is greater than 1, because that happened in one of these stupid squash matches.
Well, there you go.
And in another one, the commanders in chief, Willard Fillmore and Rutherford P.S. Hayes. And if you do entertaining things with squash matches, you can take just jobbers and just toss them at people and build them up.
And I'll say this: the Malkies were better workers than the fucking Young Bucks will ever be, even if one of the Malkies is a pedophile.
Oh,
they're literally doing it with Wardlow, and even to an extent with Lance Archer in AEW, destroying fools, so that when he goes in there with guys like with Dustin, it's credible because he destroyed those guys, and it's a bit tougher for this one, and that's the point of the squash, to make him be credible. It's not to make the other guy look good too, to make it competitive.
So that was basically our thoughts on jobbers and why they work, because I think I think squashes, jobbers, all that stuff is still essential. I think it is important, to throw. We've been throwing that word out, essential, a lot, but I think it's very important in wrestling. And I think we're all on the same page with that.
And I want to see more of Rutherford P.S. Hayes.
Yes, please. So I had one thing I wanted to close with, but you guys just jogged my memory of something else kind of big that I forgot about when I heard pedophile. When I heard the word pedophile.
You heard about pedophile? Oh, yes.
Wow. I almost forgot about this.
I completely forgot about that too.
Velveteen Dream, who will be challenging for the NXT World Championship. I think, is it called the World Championship? I don't know. Either way, NXT title.
It's not. It's just the championship.
Okay, either way, Adam Cole's title next week on NXT. And since we're not going to be, we won't be doing a show next week, I figured we could talk about this since, hey, he's been accused of sending dick pics to underage people. This has not been confirmed. There's been people said that he could have been hacked or he could have done it. There's a lot of people saying he did do it, but I'm wondering. My question to you guys is, hey, how come nothing has been done? How come he hasn't been at least pulled for a short amount of time at least to figure out what's going on? Or maybe they already did and just didn't say anything. I guess, Rab, what are your thoughts on the whole Velveteen Dream situation?
The proof is real circumstantial.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't want to say more than that, honestly.
Of course, we definitely don't know.
Yeah. You know, the clearly there's a picture of him, which he has admitted is of him. Because he said, you know, a private personal photo that was not meant to be shared was whatever. But as far as whether or not he was sending them to underage girls is one of those things that is yet to be seen, or yet to be corroborated. There's a audio clip of him clearly asking someone what school they go to, which doesn't sound great until you remember that there are a few different colleges right in Orlando around where they tape NXT. UCF is there, obviously Full Sail. You know, so it could be a college girl
or a wrestling
fucking
school.
rats.
Fucking rats. Or it could be a wrestling school. Hey, you know, hey.
Yeah, a wrestling school. Lots of grappling going on.
Yeah. It's a very, very interesting situation. Scott, what are your thoughts here on the whole Velveteen Dream stuff?
Well, I remember when it kind of debuted in our that's a weird word for it, but when it popped up in our Discord, people were like, "There's no way this could be fake," and I'm like, "There's every way this could be fake."
Yes, definitely
it's
can be.
Audio and video, like it's so easy to do and do right or wrong.
But also,
I mean,
what's
you
so
talk
bad
about
about asking a college kid what school they go to?
Oh, if the person's overage,
it's not like you would say, "Excuse me, ma'am, who is clearly over the age of 18, which of the local universities do you?"
Now,
it's easy to take something out of context and isolate audio to make it incriminating. We've done that for our own amusement on this very podcast.
Probably, yeah.
Now, if he had said, "What high school do you go to?"
That would have been
or
bad.
what middle school do you go to? Then, you know, there's a little...
Depending on the audio, I mean, if they've hacked his phone to get his photo, they've hacked it to get audio. I mean, this could be literally audio clips from fucking Tough Enough for all we know, because he was back on that forever ago talking about... Like, this can be analyzed 9 times over. It's alleged, so who knows? I don't know. And people are acting like, oh, it's got to be true. Why else would he do it? Or
what?
We don't know. I know there was something similar with a YouTuber, Pro Jared, who was allegedly sending dick pics to underage minors. And then they went through it, and it was like an ex who was accusing him of it, and they had texts and chats and people coming out and admitting to it and blah, blah, blah. And then he's able to go, well, actually, they've doctored this. I didn't know any of them were underage. And they looked through and like, yeah, he likes them young, but he likes them legal. And it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, that could easily be this too. And people go like, oh, I said I was 18. Oh, I got him. Like, we don't fucking know. Yeah. The thing with this too is, my first thought is they could have pulled him. They could have pulled him, and he's not wrestling next week, because the last time it was supposed to be Finn and Dream, Finn was attacked, and Dream went and did a promo. We could easily have next week come around, and oh no, Dream's been attacked, and Finn does something. And it's just a way to keep that going until they figure it out. I don't know. Yeah. Or they already figured it out and went, yeah, it's fake. Because he himself has come out and said, this is not real. I did nothing inappropriate. So he did something.
Yeah.
He did something that was on the up and up as far as he knows, or is at least claiming. That's all we know.
Lee, what are your thoughts on the Velveteen Dream penis pic?
It's way too early to know what the source of it is. Like, is it legit? He was sending it to minors, or did someone fuck with him? I mean, it's so easy to do. And the only thing I gotta say is, wrestlers, be fucking smart with your social media. Don't have phones. Honestly, don't have fucking cell phones. Or if you're gonna use it for work only. Don't take dick pics.
Yeah, that.
Because
see, it's really that one. Look, I have a phone.
Yeah.
I do not send anyone dick pics.
Oh.
I don't even take them.
Well,
That's
then what
a lot
did you
of-
send me last week? No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
I mean, if you're
That was a
gonna
hot dog.
Oh,
yeah, but
okay.
question, Bomber, what
If-
school do you go to?
if you're gonna, if you're gonna send dick pics, invest in a Polaroid camera.
Oh,
You can still buy
disposable.
them. Then just send them by mail. Don't have digital. Don't
Physical
have digital.
evidence.
You can't hack
Don't
the
have-
mail.
But send them certified, to show.
That's great.
Don't have
Old school
digital.
business.
Don't have digital files of you naked or
That's
you
true.
saying lewd things to people that people can hack into your fucking phones. It's way too goddamn easy.
Yeah, I mean,
You
the-
got to be smarter. And I mean, if you want to bang rats, but don't talk about it on your fucking phone.
Yeah, and to me, if all this was done through like Twitter and he was DMing people on his like his actual thing, that just seems like fucking like really dumb. Like as dumb as possibly you could possibly be. I mean, that to me is like where I would kind of raise a red flag, being like, he can't
How
be that
else do you
dumb,
know
right?
it's the verified Velveteen Dream?
Exact. I'm like, you can't be that dumb, right? I'm like, I don't know. But who
Oh, yeah,
knows?
you can.
You
I
could,
don't
sure.
think he is, but
I know people, and I know people who know people.
Yeah.
And let me tell you,
Okay.
Instagram is just full of young athletes and young rappers. This is really the kind of people I know that people know.
Okay.
Because I know people in the music business.
Oh.
And they tell me shit about the stuff that they get all their girls on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
LeBron gets his girls on Instagram. Instagram is just wild with people like sliding through DMs.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know. If I don't know the ages of these people. If they are underage,
Maybe is there any chance that it's just someone who works in a coal mine?
in a what?
In a coal mine, miners.
Gee, get out of here! Get out of here! Okay. So anyway,
Porn
either way,
porn parody, Velveteen Cream.
I don't think
Nice.
with the way
dude,
Velveteen.
Velveteen Peen. Come on.
Oh
Well,
my
yeah,
Nice, better. Sorry,
No.
you got topped over by Lee.
So my yep. So my thing is, if there was more to it, I feel like WWE would definitely have pulled him. I feel like they probably did do some type of investigation. Maybe I'm giving too much credit. I don't know. But we saw how fast they acted with like Enzo, and I know he did something different. He like didn't. He didn't.
There was criminal
give-
investigation on that. Same
Yeah,
with Swan.
and
There's
he-
nothing for all we know on this. So
Exactly. This is more like rumor stuff. So it's a little different from those other like Swan and Enzo scenarios, but I feel like they still would not put him in a title match if they were questioning it. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're right.
I feel like
which is why he's probably going to be like attacked and taken out. or
yeah,
something.
either he's not going to do it, or I feel if the match goes through, I don't think he's winning either way. But especially if he does, I feel like they like investigated enough to know that he did not legit do this stuff, and that he was either hacked or something like that. So
I think you're right.
Either way,
agree with that.
I guess hopefully he didn't do it. I would hate to hear that he did something that's fucking that stupid and that terrible, but we'll see. We will see. So I guess the last thing now we'll close out with. We're not going to go through the card for Money in the Bank. It's not complete. We're not going to do a show before the pay-per-view happens next week. But I did want to touch on just one thing: the main event, which apparently is going to be held on a roof of the NXT, not NXT, the WWE headquarters, the Money in the Bank match. I can't even fathom how awesome this idea is, how crazy this idea is, where the superstars will start at the bottom of the bottom floor, and they're going to have to work their way up to the roof, and the briefcase will be hanging up above I don't know if, I assume there's a ring. I assume there's a ring on the roof.
Yes, there could be a ring.
Yeah, they've shown pictures of it to promote.
Oh,
things.
well, there you go. And the
It's
briefcase
both Money in
will
the
be up
Bank
there.
matches are up there. Yeah, on the roof.
The fact that they have to, of course, they could have just done it on the roof, and that would have been kind of cool. But the fact that they have to go through the building just blows my mind on all the
You got to
creative.
climb the corporate ladder.
That's
That's what they
so-
called it.
Oh, it's so great.
Fun,
Yeah.
so awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
No.
It's ridiculous.
I already know.
No, but that's why I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I already know Lee's probably not
Can
going to be the
can
biggest fan.
Yeah, can we talk about it and then let Lee talk about it?
I guess so, yeah. We'll let Lee give his thoughts after we give our thoughts. Yeah,
Go ahead, pal.
Yeah, this to me, I was kind of excited about the Boneyard and all this kind of other stuff, and I was hoping it was going to be good, and it exceeded my expectations. I hope I don't put this so high up that it fails my expectations, but I am super fucking excited to see them go through the actual building and do kinds of crazy stuff in the building. Oh, people go through like walls and shit. I don't know. Just it should be so fun. But that's my thoughts. I can't be more excited about this match. It's the most match I've been excited about that I can remember. I can't remember any match I've been this excited about. Rab, what
match? There's two of them.
The women are doing the same exact thing?
The women are doing the same thing.
How do you not know that?
Okay.
They're both the same.
I'll tell you why I didn't know that here at the end. But Rab, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, I don't know if it's the most excited I've been for a while, but I'm very much looking forward to see what they do with it and how they do it. It's funny because I think the women have actually been doing better work with it, or maybe they're just better on social media. The women, to be fair, are just better on social media than
probably.
The women have been doing great stuff on social media with it. Lacey Evans put out an Instagram of her, like she went down and she found the blueprints. So she has the blueprints to Titan Towers.
Oh my god,
or whatever that building is called now. Because I'm old.
Yeah.
But she got the blueprints to the headquarters. So like so she's gonna have like the inside track of knowing the layout of the building. No, it seems like they're having a lot of fun with it on social media, and I think that will lead to them having fun with it during the match. It seems like a really fun idea.
I hope somebody gets lost in the building. Like they separate themselves to try to go on their own to like get up to the top and like sneak up, and they get fucking lost. That would be amazing. Scott, what are your thoughts?
I applaud them for making the most of an awkward, unique situation because they weren't even potentially able to do stuff at the Performance Center. I understand that this was actually taped like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
on I think the 14th they were doing it.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
people. There's pictures of the ring
roof
up there. Yeah,
yeah. No spoilers. No one's put that out, but apparently this all taped on the 14th. It was cold. It was all day. But I am absolutely fascinated by what this could be. I'm a little worried. We talked about this before going into Boneyard and Firefly that they'd overproduce. And then they actually did, though, when they got to Gargano and Ciampa. I'm like, okay. I'm a little worried they might go too far and think, oh, this is how it works. This is how to make the good cinematic. And I think they overdo it. I'm scared. I don't want them to. I'm excited, but
yeah.
I know what Lee's going to say. I'm going to say one part of that. Is it wrestling? No. But I'm looking forward to it.
Of course it is.
It's going to be fun. It's its own. It's different.
It is wrestling.
And there's going to be another 2 hours of other matches that are fine and are normal. But yeah, this one, I'm looking forward to the Money in the Bank overall. It's so fucking weird.
Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
I'm more excited about this than I am about WrestleMania. Call me crazy. No. I promised you I am.
Here's my reason why. Because the competitors aren't all that great.
What?
The
men's are. The women's, you got Dana Brooke in there. That's whatever. I like the rest of the women though, and the men's, the ones announced anyway, are good. We lost Apollo Cruz, which I think would have been good. He would have been great in a normal Money in the Bank match, but I don't know exactly how great he would have been in this type of Money in the Bank match.
I was fascinated by the concept when they announced it. I've not gotten any more excited by the names announced. It's going to be interesting, but it really seems like it's maybe like AJ in the Boneyard. It's not going to matter who it is. They're going to do stuff with going through walls, doing whatever. Yeah. Is it going to be a Rey Mysterio thing? I don't think so. I think it's going to be just filling in roles. That's why I'm kind of okay.
I think it'll be interesting one day when we do Best in the Business, Best Money in the Bank matches, which is what we plan on doing. I think we were doing Elimination Chamber, but anyway, it's going to be interesting to see where this ranks up in the brackets. But anyway, Lee, what are your thoughts on this Money in the Bank main event announcement?
I have no hope for it. I think it's going to be a big fucking turd. Does no one remember the White Castle of Fear in WCW? Does no one remember the Dungeon of Doom and like the lowest of the low bullshit? That's what WWE is doing right now. That's what they're doing right fucking now. They are.
I love your curmudgeon ways sometimes.
This is going to be the fucking 24/7 title, but produced to look like the fucking Boneyard match. And it's going to be an absolute piece of shit. Mark my fucking words. I will sit on this fucking hill and die on it. It's going to be garbage. It's going to suck. It's not fucking wrestling. It's a fucking produced piece of shit.
Old men yell at cloud.
Hey,
Exactly, and I'll keep yelling at the fucking clouds, motherfuckers, because this shit ain't fucking wrestling.
so
100% it's wrestling.
well, first of all, I do.
Die on the hill. I'll die on the other hill across from
You guys will be yelling at each other on different hills.
Yeah, you go sit on Joey Ryan's hill and fucking
Well, that's
slap
I
him
think
really hard until he cries.
that's a different hill, I think. But I do remember those. And they
And
weren't.
they're not looked at fondly, though. That's the thing.
That is true. But I don't know. I feel like I just feel it'll be better. I mean, the Boneyard match has me more, more optimistic than usual, I guess, for this type of match. And I don't know. I just like seeing one of the best things I liked about the Attitude Era was always seeing like the backstage stuff, like when they were, doing different things, just not in the ring. Of course, I like the stuff in the ring too, but I liked a lot of the stuff that wasn't involved, at the ring. And this to me is like kind of, it pulls from that. And I'm super excited because we don't get a lot of that. Like
I'll be that guy to say that was some of my least favorite.
That's fine. That's fine.
It was neat and it was fun part of the show, but I still wanted, the wrestling.
I have no nostalgia for the Attitude Era, so this shit can go fuck itself.
Like, I love the whole, like, the hardcore stuff where they would go across the street into the bar and Road Dogg was on, like, the referee or commentary, like, followed him and stuff. And some that just, I loved all that. I mean, that could just be me. But I love, like, seeing non-in-the-ring stuff just as much as in the ring. And as people know, my background, I like a lot of the hardcore wrestling, so that's kind of my background. But
let's quantify it a little bit. You like it when it's good, not just all of it, because some people will be like,
Well,
you
sure.
like all that stuff. No,
of course
there is good and bad. But
yes, there is definitely some bad stuff, of course. But like I said, the Boneyard thing has me thinking the way they did that and the work that they put in and the fact that they recorded this 2 weeks ago, I feel like they have ample time to like edit and they probably shot a shit ton, and I have a feeling that it's just going to be edited well. I hope it's going to be comical as well as athletic type deal as well, but throw some comedy in there.
I hope it's really sports based.
God, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying I think it's going to be good.
No,
I'm excited.
I do.
I'm excited.
Go to fuck.
I want
Go to
more
fuck
than just the
WWE.
Boneyard fight. As fun as that was,
Yeah.
there wasn't even a ref. There was no point. That was about survival. This isn't about survival. This is about getting money in the bank.
Yeah.
And they just have to go from the ground floor to the top. So it still should be a match.
And I could be completely. This could be horrible. Like Lee said, this could be absolutely terrible. Who knows? I'm just really excited for it right now. And if it does suck, if we come back, I will come back on the next show and be like, hey, I was definitely, I was in the wrong boat on this one.
Get ready for it.
It was shitty. But
You're being optimistic, so I get that. Yeah.
But I'm right at this moment. I'm excited.
Haley, how did you feel about the Firefly whatever Funhouse match?
Go fuck yourself. That shit was garbage. It was the worst fucking
So I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
There it is.
Good. I'm glad you don't. Because
That's
that
what we're
was
here
just
for.
Hot garbage. It wasn't wrestling at all. It was bullshit.
Well, I will
I'm so
agree.
glad-
Oh, sorry, Lee.
I just want to hear you finally say it on the record.
I am so starved for like any sort of actual wrestling content right now that I'm watching substandard MLW matches that were taped months ago in Mexico that they're currently airing because at least it's in front of a fucking live crowd that gives a shit about what's going on.
Hey, I can give you my password to the CZW network.
No, thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, I figured I'd offer.
Not that starved. He ain't there yet.
He's not that bad off yet. Give
I
it a
don't want
couple
the
months.
crowd to be the janitors in the closet they're wrestling in. Thanks.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, but anyway.
Lee watching it alone in his living room will tie the biggest crowd CZW ever had.
Hey. CZW shows have outdone WrestleMania this past year, so you be quiet. It's
Womp
official.
womp.
It's official. So
Everybody's outdone WrestleMania this year, pretty much.
That's true.
If they got like 3 people there.
So either way, there's a lot of interesting things happening. We still are up in the air as far as, coronavirus, what shows are going to be canceled, what are not. We know Double or Nothing is a go as of right now as well. So that's May 23rd, I believe. So we'll see. I don't think, because that's supposed to be in Las Vegas, and I don't think shows are running in Las Vegas. So we'll see what happens.
Nothing's running in Las Vegas right now.
Yeah, we will see.
They haven't even announced where it is. Impact did Rebellion as a 2-week thing on their Impact TV broadcast.
Oh.
And it was on Twitch and everything, and I watched parts of it. Nobody is admitting to when it was taped. Like, it's unknown as far as when it was actually taped.
Interesting.
Somewhere around April 8th and 9th or something. But, yeah, Willie Mack is X Division champion. It's pretty neat. When did he win it? April.
You got to go by
I
when it aired.
I think Impact has are they allowed to tape right now problem.
Yes.
Because unlike these other guys, they're not doing it in Florida.
That's true.
No.
They're probably like going under the table with. They're like, oh,
that's what WWE tried to do. That's what the rumor was WWE was gonna do if they didn't get, the official approval, was that they were gonna try to hide it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's AEW was even taping stuff like in somebody's gym and stuff. Like, they're just trying anything they can do to make it work. UFC was gonna build an island, and they're still doing it.
Hell yeah! Hell, I'm all about that. That's awesome.
The Bomber Rebellion, speaking of night 1, Sami Callihan versus Ken Shamrock, main event, unsanctioned match. It went cinematic.
I heard it did. I have not seen anything from Rebellion yet. I need to go back and watch that. I'm sure everything. It's
There's
probably
stuff.
Yeah, I can probably watch it on Twitch. I'm sure
that would have to be cinematic. Has anyone seen Shamrock try to work this year? Holy shit!
He did a dive off the stage, which was all of like a foot or two, literally, and he still tripped up and kicked one of the lights off when he landed.
Oh my
on
god!
it.
Yeah,
I saw a screenshot of that, and I'm like, he's not very high off the ground. Like they
even replayed that, and I'm like, he barely made that though. Why are they replaying that?
Yeah, no, Shamrock is
this was
definitely.
taped. What?
I agree. Shamrock's. I'm with you on that one, Lee, for sure. All right, so I guess that's it for now. We covered a lot of stuff here. We hopefully will be able to do a show before Double or Nothing. We'll see if they're actually doing a show. We can maybe break down what's going to happen. We'll talk about Money in the Bank. We'll be able to see how well these Money in the Bank matches panned out, and whether or not Lee is right, and they're just going to be absolute dog shit. I think that was the quote.
But I would say, for the record, no matter how well they go over,
here it is,
or how badly they go over,
you're bad.
Lee's opinion will be exactly the same.
That's true.
His opinion has nothing to do with how they are. If he's not being contrarian, guys, is what I'm trying to say.
He's not being open.
Lee is not being contrarian. He just has a very fixed viewpoint,
and that's okay. That's okay.
I have
that.
Not hating it just to hate it.
It's way better than being contrarian. No, it's 100% okay.
I have that opinion on certain things. Lee, I will ask you this: Are you going?
You have the opinion, and then you're surprised that you're the only one who has it.
Are you going to watch the matches?
Fuck no.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's all I was going to ask. That's all I'm going to ask. Okay.
Probably not.
All right.
I'll probably do what I did with the fucking Boneyard match and that fucking whatever the fuck that Bray Wyatt shit was.
The best thing in wrestling in the last 10 years.
I'll probably watch the first 5 minutes and go, yeah, I can go watch like an old NWA match and actually be happy. Thanks.
So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. We will be back when we are back. Hopefully it's 2 weeks. We will see, though. Okay. Let's get out of here, guys. We'll see you next time.
Wash your hands, Marks.
That's good.
Except for Dory Funk.
That was good. Yeah, you don't want him.
No, he's not my pick. He's not my pick anymore, so he can die.
Wait, what?
Fucking Redhead stole my pick.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, they do something separate on the. That's a different one on the.
Oh, so I still got Dory Funk on this
Yeah,
one?
yeah, you still got Dory Funk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Funk,
Yeah, nobody
you fucking die, old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a separate death pool that they do on the Discord. So because everybody wants involved in it. Yeah, so.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it's okay. So Dory, fucking die, you motherfucker!
Goddamn. He was off your hit list for a minute.
Who stole your pick?
So yeah,
Redhead did.
Yep. So all right.
Yeah,
on the Discord, Rab. It's a separate. It's a separate.
Discord, its own death pool channel and everything. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we are for real. We are ending the show now.
Channel.
God damn it. Yeah, go join the Discord. Jobber Radio. Just
I
search.
was on the Discord yesterday.
Oh, I was
He
actually
was a
saying.
lot. He was.
You were. I was actually saying that for like people listening. But yes.
How many people did you ban?
None.
Surprisingly,
None.
none.
Surprise!
Why?
I really. Oh, because I was doing it during the workday, and then I was. It's funny. Redhead was actually who I was gonna ban.
Damn it!
Because they were just very active.
Yeah.
So that's who I was gonna ban.
Whoever's talking, just ban them.
Basically, is what happened.
Oh, well, there
and
you
also
go.
because this Randy Orton person, I think I had banned them.
Oh,
good.
Try to spread the wealth.
you would probably make a lot of people happy, unfortunately, with that one. A lot
But
of
then
people.
I got distracted by work, by actual work, and so
There you go.
that's why I just disappeared one day.
That
One more.
works. All right, so we are definitely in the show now. That was a false end. This is
thought
the
we
real.
did end the show.
Nope, this is the real end. We that was too good to keep out. So, all right, now we're definitely ending. Dory Funk Jr. is still in your death pool, Lee. So no worries
Good.
about that. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Gonna ban you, Luco belts.